Resnick and 52, Lou Fumagalli. The Danville players, 78, Dave Walker, and number 25, Bill Jones, you can see. Danville wins the toss. Danville wins the toss and elects to receive. Danville will defend the south goal. So Joliet Catholic will be kicking off in this contest, and Danville will receive and defend the south goal. Now the officials in this contest are Gene Fowler from Oak Forest, Bob Hart of Elgin, Larry Nimmers of Elgin, and Alfred Scheel of Chicago Heights. There they are, gentlemen. Nothing but fine decisions. Well, this is the game to decide the 4A championship. Joliet Catholic, of course, the defending champion, loser of only one game this season. A big winner in this championship game 1 year ago against Springfield Griffin by 20 points. And Garden Gillespie, over 25 years, has had nothing but success at Joliet Catholic. We'll have the starting lineups and the opening kickoff for you shortly. But first, here's the national anthem. Well, that was the Danville Marching Band under the direction of John Dougal providing the music for the national anthem. And Vince, we're just about ready to go.
And we are looking for a tremendously exciting football game here this afternoon. I thank you very much, Rick. We'll have the starting lineups introduced here momentarily, and Floyd Brown will handle those chores for you. But as Rick mentioned, Danville, which you will see introduced initially down here, as a very powerful football club. We mentioned you may see several offensive formations from them. They'll normally go into a double wing, and they'll have a man in motion, one of those wing backs. We may also see the Danville Vikings, coached by Paul Chevy, go into a shotgun formation. They may throw a few double reverses or a lot of counter plays at you.
Yeah, they like to handle the ball a lot.
Yes, they do. And we have a strong crosswind here that is blowing from west to east directly across the field. And that, of course, may have considerable effect in the outcome of this football game, too. It is going to be a little bit tough sometimes in punting situations, although it may help a punter try to get one out of bounds if he wants to go to that far side of the field, the east side. We are located here, Floyd and Rick and I, Hancock Stadium on the west side with a perfect vantage point just about at the 50-yard line. And while it is chilly, there are a few snowflakes that fell here. We have some little snow on the field, but it should be pretty good. Now, Floyd Brown to bring you the opening lineups.
Well, thank you very much, Vince. And now the starting lineups for today's 4A Championship Football Classic. First, in the white, the defensive starting team for Joliet Catholic. Number 84, Mark Garvelia. At left tackle, number 67, Mike Brown. At right tackle, number 64, Jim Boucher. At right end, number 66, Doug McKay. At linebacker, number 71, Bob Healy. Another linebacker, 52, Lou Fumagalli. Another linebacker, number 87, John Piazza. Defensive back, number 82, Mark Schmidt. Defensive back, number 44, John Jensen. Defensive back, number 24, Mike Terrell. And at safety, number 22, John Funk. And now the coach for Joliet Catholic High School, Gordon Gillespie. The offensive starting team for Danville at left end, number 80, Ned Luke. At left tackle, number 73, Steve Wiley. At left guard, number 64, Rick Warren. At center, number 55, John LeCount. At right guard, number 68, Mike Stymek. At right tackle, number 78, David Walker. At right end, number 85, Mark Sarasi. At quarterback, number 11, Larry Rosdell. At halfback, number 25, William Jones. At halfback, number 21, Robert McNeil. At fullback, number 32, Brett Travis. And now the coach for Danville, Paul Chevy. And now to bring you the exciting play-by-play of today's 4A championship football game, here's Vince Lloyd.
Thank you, Floyd. Officials out there on the field now. And let me tell you, these two teams are understandably at an emotional peak for this one. And that includes the veteran coach of 25 years with Joliet Catholic, Gordon Gillespie. It is almost like he is going into his first season as a coach there. Way he feels about trying to repeat as champion here in the 4A for the state of Illinois. As you know, Danville in the maroon jerseys with the white helmets, white trousers, won the toss, and the Danville Vikings have elected to receive. So they'll be defending the goal to our right, the south, and to the right of your screen. And there you see in white the Joliet Catholic Hilltoppers getting set to kick off momentarily. See how well this one will carry.
You know, Vince, it looks like the field conditions have improved considerably.
They have.
2 hours ago, it was really soaked and glazed. It looked like it's dried out quite a bit.
Look at there. It looks like we may have two men coming up here on the kickoff. One is Rick Thayer, number 30, who's listed as their number 1 kickoff man, and the other is 74, John Meade.
The people might be interested at Vince. It's 18 degrees and cold on the field now.
Deep man, number 25 for Danville is William Jones, a tremendous speedster. And the boot by John Meade. And he's going to kick it rather short at about the 18-yard line. Picked up over in the far side of the field by Robert McNeil, number 21. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Danville Vikings as they place the ball down at about the 22-yard line.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a chilly ball to handle today. It's going to be tough. I know that Chevy, particularly the coach of the Danville team, was very concerned before the contest about the conditions of the game, and they do handle the ball a lot, Vince.
They do.
He's hoping that they can hold on to it.
Rosdale, a quarterback. Rosdale, number 11, 5'9", 160-pounder, and the give goes to left back Bill Jones. Trying on that sweep to the right side, and he runs into Mark Schmidt, number 82. And strong side safety, John Jensen, number 44. And he is thrown for a loss back to the 20-yard line. They had marked the return of the kickoff by Bob McNeil out to the 23. So he has lost a couple of yards. 2nd down and long yardage. Rousdale, by the way, has completed about 58% of his passes. Man in motion, 25 is Jones. And driving straight ahead is Robert McNeil, who gained over 800 yards this season. And he gets it across the 25 to about the 27, and there he runs into Jim Boucher, number 64, and John Jensen. Here it is again.
Yeah, this is that low-level camera down here, and it gives you a good look at that line play and the hitting.
3rd down and about 6. And to give goes quickly to Bill Jones, and he is piled up at the line of scrimmage by Bob Healy, defensive tackle, 190-pound junior, number 71. You'll notice that Joliet Catholic may switch defensively from a 4-3, 6-1, dropping the ends back as linebackers a couple of yards occasionally. So it's a punting situation for the Danville Vikings.
You know,
back is number 83, Mark Dixon.
With the weather being as cold as it is, the fellows seem to be moving a little lethargic at this point. I think it'll be a while before they'll get the feel of it.
They better move quickly or they'll freeze out there. A low line drive, bouncing at the 45 into the hands of 42, Sean Steer. And a flag is thrown almost immediately as he goes out of bounds. See whether or not we might have a clipping penalty out there. John LeCount, number 55, a 220-pound senior, making the stop. Let's see what the walk-off will be. No score. We've just gotten underway, and tonight, of course, we'll have the 5A championship game with St. Lawrence and Glenbard West. And here it is Joliet Catholic in the light jerseys and the Danville Vikings, a personal foul.
One of the Danville players, John LeConte, number 55, limped off the field. It doesn't look like it's something really serious, but they may have to see what his problem is.
It's a walk-off at 15 yards against Danville, the first penalty of the game, and a mighty big one. So, Joliet in excellent position now. 1st and 10 on the Danville 35-yard line. Keep an eye on number 12, Dan Pesavento, the quarterback. Very fine runner. Number 45, Eric Beltsover. Bill Sharp, another halfback, and the outstanding fullback, number 30, is Rick Thayer. And here it is, Beltsover on a slant to the right side, across the 30 to the 29-yard line of Danville. Beltsover, a senior, 6 feet, about 190, brought down by Larry Lucas. That's Beltsover right there.
Well, he averaged more than 6.5 yards per carry this season, Vince, and you can see why. He gets nice blocking up front and goes straight for the hole.
Got some big guys up front. Yeah. The center, John McFarland, 6'3", 220, a senior. Flanked by guards, Tony Tracy, 180-pounder, and Dennis Hennessy on his left side, 190. And this is Rick Thayer, their outstanding fullback, down to about the 22-yard line.
Well, that's a look at that offensive line. Borg, Kulig, Hennessy, McFarland, Tracy, Droznik, and Mackey, the big men up front for Joliet Catholic.
Droznik, the right tackle, number 72, 6'4", 220 pounds. It is 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line of Danville. Joliet driving, and bring that wingback back. And now a flag on the play, illegal procedure. Starting to move on that was Beltsover. They obviously were in some confusion.
Kind of interesting on the line down there for Danville. The defensive end stood up and pointed to the referee and tapped the guy, said he moved. And so the referee threw the flag to him, and he caught it.
He said, here, you take my job. I'm busy.
Nose guard for Danville is Bill Cotton, number 74, and he plays defense only. He's a senior, 190, flanked by Anthony Marbury, 79, and Phil March, 71, and Chris Kinney and Grisecki.
Little shift into a T formation.
Rolling out, firing, and it is batted down. The pass intended for Bill Sharp, number 43, and Jack Delzell, who plays at Monster Man or Rover. He's normally on the deep end, number 81. In there defensively, excellent coverage. Look at over there, across the way on the east side of the field. Of WGN is number 9, but the Vikings are number 1. First pass attempted of the afternoon, incomplete. And it's 2nd down and 15 from the 28-yard line of Danville. Joliet in possession. Power eye. They shift into it with 2 tight ends. Fakes the give, dropping back, looking, firing a screen pass. Complete to Jim Nani, who's come into that backfield across the 20 to about the 17-yard line. Jim Delzell bringing him down. Take another look at it. They set up that screen beautifully.
Yeah, they let the defensive end charge forward, but he knew he was able to pass into that area.
Delzell's all alone there, but he still comes back and makes the tackle. That's excellent.
3rd down and 5 now at the 18-yard line. Steve Furman, who had been in a tackle, 75, has come out of there. Back in is Phil March. Joliet Catholic up to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 5. Shift into the power I formation again. The give goes to Rick Thayer, the big fullback, and he is hit hard at the line of scrimmage, driven back. If he got back to the line of scrimmage, that would be just about it. Thayer had averaged over 6 yards a carry this season, 215-pound senior.
Well, the hole wasn't there, Vince, and he didn't really react quickly enough to veer off into another area. By the time he tried to get away, they'd already filled up the line.
Number 79, Anthony Marbury, a tackle comes out, and Steve Furman, 75, replacing him, and they were doing that on almost every play defensively. 4th down and 5. Will they go to the air? Pesometto, the quarterback. Nope. And the play is bogged down as Beltsewer, number 45, tried to carry, hit by Bill Cotton, the nose guard. So Danville's defense is equal to the task, and they take over 1st and 10. At their own 14-yard line.
Shows what a penalty can do, Vince. They were moving very well there. They had a 1st and 10 and got the motion penalty on the 1st down, which made it 1st and 15. That was a tremendous assist for Danville, and it kind of perked them up a little bit.
Particularly if you're running such a conservative offense at this stage.
In the first quarter, the score, Joliet nothing, Danville nothing. Our coverage of the State High School Football Championships will continue after this.
Announcing the 1977 league-leading Fords. At quarterback, the new Thunderbird. At wide receiver, Pinto is a great catch. Or try the option play, the big LTD or the new LTD2. Come and see them all and play your Ford dealer's NFL game. You could win Super Bowl tickets and $600 cash.
NFL, new Ford Motors.
And now, class, your grades.
Miss Baxter, I just want to say thanks for all you've done.
Hey, fellow students, can't you see? Learning only comes with originality. A Dr. Pepper.
What's so original about a cola?
It's not a cola, it's much, much more.
Remarkable taste.
Drink Dr. Pepper. It's the most original soft drink ever in the whole wide world.
A for originality, D in everything else.
Dr. Pepper.
All right, Danville 1st and 10. From their own 14-yard line, a long way to go. Up over the ball is John Gummer, number 54, sophomore, in there at center now. McLeod apparently had been injured. Right behind him, center Larry Rossdale. And a drive of the right side by Bob McNeil, who had gained over 800 yards this year, senior. Stopped by Doug McKay, number 66, and Mike Brown, number 67. And
I'm afraid we have an injury on the field, and he looks like he's in pain. I can't pick up the number.
That is number 28. 78, I'm sorry. 78 will be Dave Walker. Offensive tackle. Tending to him right now. It was a pickup of only 2 yards on that play.
John LeConte, who was taken out a little bit earlier, limping, is up and around on the sideline now, Vince, at center for Danville, and he looks like he might be able to go back in. He's walking pretty well.
They just don't want to take any chances with him, of course.
That's right. It's cold out there today.
Yeah.
It's going to intensify the hitting, definitely.
It's going to hurt more.
Dave Walker, one of the co-captains, plays that right tackle. Behind him could be Steve Furman or Anthony Marbury.
Well, you know, Vince, Danville has run 4 offensive plays now, and they've all been very basic, probing plays. They haven't certainly opened up in anything that we've been led to expect, because they scored so many points this season. You know they have a lot more to offer on offense. I think they're just trying to see where they might be able to open up some holes.
That's a tough defensive ball club that Joliet Catholic has. They're not exceptionally big. As a matter of fact, you have one fellow there, 175, but you have a couple of them up in that line, about 200 or so. But they have 2 sophomores who are linebackers. Number 87, John Piazza, 6'1", 185, is a 15-year-old sophomore. for Joliet. And his backup at that key middle linebacker position is another 15-year-old sophomore, number 33, Paul Carberry. And he weighs a big, hefty 165 pounds. And I think that's a little unusual to have two 15-year-olds, number 1 and number 2 middle linebackers for you in this class of competition.
Well, they're flanked by a couple of seniors out there, of course, to solidify the defense. And you can imagine how good a young man like Piazza will be in a couple of years or next year and the year after with this kind of experience.
And you know, Vince, you were talking earlier about the fact they were going to key on Thayer, the fullback from Joliet Catholic, and it's interesting in the series of downs that they had. I think Thayer was stopped, with the exception of once, off left tackle where the line blew him out, as we showed on the replay here. But wherever Thayer went, there seemed to be a bunch of people.
He draws people. He sure does.
Well, I'd like to have the blanket concession. Those folks look cold up there today, Vince. It's now dropped to 17 degrees, and fortunately, we don't have any precipitation like we had last night.
Walker with an injury, obviously, to the left arm. And wouldn't it be a shame if this young man, battling all season long and a co-captain coming into the championship game, to leave early and could be out of action for the rest of the day? It certainly appears that that's going to be the case.
It could be a collarbone or a shoulder.
That's too bad. David Walker, Danville, right tackle and co-captain. Play is resumed. 2nd down and 8. The ball at the 16-yard line of Danville. There is no score in the first quarter. They now have a 6-man defensive front with the middle linebacker and a counter back to the right side, and driven out of bounds into the snow is William Jones. Hit there by quarterback Mark Schmidt, number 82.
Well, that's one of those seniors we were talking about, Schmidt. Very strong lateral pursuit.
This is WGN Television Channel 9. And we hope that you're enjoying our coverage this afternoon of the championship game for the 4A class in the Illinois State High School Association. One wingback, and a pitch this time, and sweeping on the left side. Getting a block from his quarterback is number 32, Brett Travis. 170-pound senior. And Rosdale threw a pretty good block for him before he was hit by Johnny Ponk and by Jim Boucher.
Watch the play. The cornerback, John Funk, number 22, comes up and makes a very effective hit right here.
And of course, you cannot put that helmet in. You can't tackle that way. You got to get that shoulder in, and he did. 4th down and 7. Punting situation brings on Mark Dixon, a senior, number 83. Should get it away from about his own 7. No good rush put on him, and a very fine boot. Takes a good Danville bounce down to about the 50-yard line, where it'll be downed by the Danville Vikings, Mike Stymack, number 68. Beautiful kick under pressure. 1st and 10 for Joliet Catholic. We have no score. We have 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining to play in the first period.
Well, Joliet Catholic has certainly had the field position so far, Vince. Danville's had to operate both times from within its own, deep in its own territory. Now they have the ball at midfield.
Dan Pesavento, the quarterback for him. And a drive off his own right guard and tackle, and a good block thrown up front there by Mark Kulig for Eric Beltzuber. Kulig, number 75. Good job. And they pick up
5 yards.
Good yardage, about 5.
Pretty tough to stop an offense that gets 4 and 5 yards every carry. But like Floyd said, that's why they can't afford to have a penalty with that type of offense.
Anthony Marbury made that stop, number 79. Right end out, split just about a yard or so. And the shift into the power eye. Give goes to the back man, Beltzuber again, and look at him go.
He just knocked that man over.
He can hit.
Is that fair?
Chris Kinney made the stop on Beltzuber here, Eric Beltzuber.
But this is Lucas that he hits the last guy there. Oh.
That's Larry Lucas, number 10, yeah.
His second effort.
1st and 10. They're down now to the Danville 38-yard line. Clock running, 4:26 left to play, opening period. And shifting into the power I formation. And the up man this time is Rick Thayer, the fullback. Gets it across the 35 to about the 34, where Marbury, number 79, and Kinney, number 23, are in on the stop. Kenny Cooper also coming up quickly.
First running play was good for 5 yards, then they went for 8 yards. Now they've gone for 4 yards.
That's not too bad. Number 61 coming in defensively is a linebacker, Anthony Bruns, a sophomore, 195. But he's up on that line of scrimmage as they bring that defense up very closely. This is Beltsuber trying to find an opening almost in the center of the line and picked up scant yardage that time. Hit by Bruns, who had just come in, and Jack Delzell, the monster man, number 81.
With the running that we're having here today and the carefulness of both offenses, looks like we're going to have a quick game. We've almost run through the first quarter already.
Marbury, 79, has come back into the tackle spot, and Bruns went out of there, number 61. 3rd down and 4. They are at the 32-yard line at Danville. Here is the give to the fullback there.
Close.
Good slant off the left side. I don't think he's got it. He should be at least a yard and a half or 2 shy of the first down. The monster man, Jack Delzell, plays defense only. Got him at the 29-yard line.
Well, it's
where they spot it.
4 down territory, though, Vince. They can just keep punching.
4th down and about a yard.
They usually play a 5-2 defense. Now they look essentially like an 8-man line.
That's what they have. Here's Thayer, the fullback, and he's got it. Finally hurled back to about the 29, but his forward progress got him up to about the 27-yard line. Chris Kinney had hit him. Number 23. He's got power. 1st and 10 for Joliet. Take another look at it. He can hit. Rick Thayer, 215-pound senior, 10'6'1". Averaged just over 6 yards a carry this year. Nose guard Bill Cotton, 74, has come back in for Danville's Vikings. 2:20 left now in the first period. Power I formation again, strong to the right side of Joliet, but the play on a counter back into the right side, and he is tripped up initially and then finally dragged down. Beltsuber is. There's Beltsuber, who carried that time. Rob Faggett brought him down, number 46.
This is Beltsuber. What a consistent ball carrier.
23, who hit him there, just could not hold on. That was Chris Kinney.
I'm sure we'll see more from Thayer, but so far it looks like Beltsuber is the power guy with the team.
Average 6.5 yards a carry this year for him. That's not too bad. He's 190, a senior. Very, very quick. Ball placed right at the 20-yard line of Danville. Clock stopped with 1:48 left to play.
I want you to watch this. This is Gardy Gillespie here. We'll show him a little later because he certainly controls the offense by giving hand signals from the sideline.
Timeout is taken in the first quarter. The score, Joliet nothing, Danville nothing, and our coverage of the state high school football championships will continue after this. We're going to try from time to time here to see if we can pick up Gordon Gillespie, the veteran coach at Joliet Catholic, as he gives some hand signals over there to his quarterback to send in a play. This is Thayer and a flag on that one in that backfield of Joliet, and the Joliet Catholic team is going to be penalized 5 yards here.
All right, Gardy, you've got to make a decision now.
There he is. Color, he's wearing the yellow jacket over the windbreaker. And the gloves and the stocking cap.
25 years.
Yeah.
Gardy's been calling plays. Oh, there's a signal. What's that mean?
It means his right hip is cold.
He's sore over there, right? He's now also the baseball coach and the athletic director at College of St. Francis. For years, he was the baseball coach at Lewis College and won several NAIA baseball championships. Coached Mr. Spezio that played with the White Sox.
That's right. That's Spezio. Ball placed at the 25. It's going to be 2nd down and 8. Into the power eye. Back man is Beltsuber, and he is a ball carrier. Hit at the 25-yard line. Drags forward to about the 22.
All right, now we know what Beltsuber's signal is. That's a right hand on the right side.
All right.
No deception there, huh?
But he puts his hand on
now
his
he's
hip.
got 2 hands.
That means you go to the right.
Touching his right leg. 2 hands on the hip and a hand on the right leg.
Fake right and go left.
Well, they pick it up pretty quickly.
Yes, they do. These are 2 well-coached ball clubs and 2 coaches who have a great affection for one another. 3rd down and 5 from the 22. It's Beltsuber again.
Like
buries his shoulder into somebody, drives him down to the 19-yard line.
I think he's fooling with us because that was a different signal on the same play.
Bill Cotton, number 74, the nose guard. Number 71, Phil March. 2 men in on that stop.
Another
Here
fourth.
comes Marbury back in, and coming back out is Bruns, 61.
Another fourth down situation, Vince. Only 2 yards. This could be very vital here.
They can be tough to get. They are at the 19-yard line at Danville. There is no score yet. Time running out now in the first quarter. We're just in the final seconds of it.
What would Bart Starr do?
There's Thayer. He is really fighting hard for it, and Danville fighting just as hard to keep him from getting it. And the Danville Vikings have held, preventing the first down. And that is the end of the first period.
No, it's twice they did it. Twice on fourth down in their own territory.
Did a super job. Oh, right side of that Danville line. Don Gressick, G-R-Z-S-I-E-K, pronounced Gressick, a senior, 77. Free safety, Larry Lucas, number 10. Phil March, 71. All of them in there.
Vince, they should have listened to you. It wasn't even close to your experiment. You told them a long time ago they missed it, huh?
Well, it's obvious, gentlemen, that both of these coaches to this point, one period, have just been very reluctant to take any chances with the football. Because, no one's put it into the air. They really haven't even thrown a pitch. You know, they've just kept straight handoff football.
Of course, Danville's had such poor field position.
That's right.
They had no opportunity to really try anything.
Danville will be moving from our left to our right now, from north to the south. It is very overcast here, and the whiteness that you see is nothing, indicates nothing wrong with your television set at all. We had some snow down here today at Bloomington Normal. Here you see one of the water towers. I hope that they're heating the water in there. That could freeze up, couldn't it, Rick? Isn't that what you were telling me last night? Needed antifreeze? Oh, that wasn't for the water tower, though, was it?
You're a lot of fun on road trips, you know what, Vince?
Some of the sprightly cheerleaders. They're probably even more active than usual today, just trying to keep warm. Joliet up front. Normally will play a 6-1. They may go into a 4-3. And they'll have Mike Brown, 67. Jim Boucher, 64. Both are seniors. Doug McKay, 66, is a junior. Bob Healy, 71, is a junior. Middle linebacker, 87, is a sophomore, John Piazza. Either defensive or linebackers,
Yeah, pardon me, but it seems a little clearer on this end of the field.
It is.
It thawed a lot better, and it should be less slippery. Perhaps Danville, he may have lost that ball there.
Duck out.
I do think the ball was loose. Now, whether or not Danville kept it or not remains to be seen. Yeah, it looks
They
like
did. They
Danville
recovered their own fumble. That's 64, Rick Warren recovering it. 165-pound senior.
He lost the ball on the initial tackle and then scrambled after it.
And coming in off the bench is Rodney Jones, replacing Rick Warren at the left guard, bringing in a play, obviously. It is 2nd down and 9 from the 18. 2nd and 9. Splits the two ends.
There's a pitch.
Coming to the right side. And he was tripped up right at the 20-yard line. That is William Jones, made the carry, 175-pound senior, and Mike Brown, a 210-pound defensive tackle, made the stop on him. Here's that young sophomore, 87, John Piazza, the 15-year-old middle linebacker. Whoops.
Well, if the first guy didn't get him, the second one was ready.
3rd down and 5.
Oops.
Motion now by Jones, and flags are dropped all over the place. Only 4 of them, I think, maybe 5.
Well, just a little over anxious on the right side of the Danville line.
Yeah.
I think they're about ready to try to open that offense up a little.
Yep.
Now, of course, that's puts them in a difficult position.
Illegal procedure against Danville. John Lacotte, number 55, a 220-pound center, back in there now, replacing John Gammer, a sophomore. 3rd down and 10. Jones in motion. And the counter play is going nowhere. McNeil dragged down by Bob Healy, number 71. Betsy tackled. And number 52 into the play. A defensive end. Lou Fumagalli. Take a look at it.
Great penetration by Fumagalli.
Makes
It's a hand on his leg down below.
Nowhere to go. Now back in the single safety is Sean Sturr, senior, 5'6". He weighs a big 140 pounds. Punter is Mark Dixon. It's a low one. Bounces at the 40 and picked up by Sturr at the 45-yard line and fumbled out of bounds. It'll belong to Joliet, 1st and 10 on the Danville 45-yard line. In the second quarter, our score still Joliet nothing, Danville nothing, and our coverage of the state high school football championships will continue after this. Yes, it is. Mighty, mighty chilly.
How would you like to put that trumpet mouthpiece up to your lips now?
No, thank you. I'd rather be playing the drums.
That's right. Anything to be on to keep warm.
They've placed it on the 46-yard line at Danville. Joliet Catholic in possession. 1st and 10, no score. Into the power eye again. And it's number 45, the workhorse, Beltsuber, trying to go into the right side and going nowhere. Ran into Bill Cotton, 74.
Come on,
and
Gordy.
Don Grisick.
Call a pass, Gordy. That's it. That must be a pass. You like that?
No, what he is saying is, for Pete's sake, don't fumble.
That's right.
It is 2nd and 11.
Our producer said he just called for a commercial. I can't believe that.
Shift again into the power eye. Going to put it up. Got a man open. And he hits Bruce Bird, a senior, 5'11". A very fine grab all the way down to about the 24-yard line. This is Bruce Bird, senior, 5'11", 170. Take another look at it. Very nice catch, and he had good protection.
Plenty of protection. A little play action to take the defenders, take the pressure off. And he certainly doesn't look cold the way he makes a fingertip catch.
Had a beautiful catch. Number 30, the first man in there to hit him is Jim Delzell. 1st and 10 at the 24. They passed twice. That's their first completion. This is Beltsuber carrying on the right side. Gets it perhaps across the 20-yard line. See where they'll spot it. That's number 45, Eric Beltsuber, 190-pound senior. They move up front there. McFarland, the center, number 53, is 220. Tony Tracy, 180. Right guard, left guard, Dennis Hennessy, number 61, 190. Beltsuber, number 2 man in the eye. The give goes to the fullback, the up man Rick Thayer, nowhere to go. Hit hard. Good swarming Danville defense led by time by Rob Faggett, number 46, a senior linebacker. Good defensive play. Ball's going to be spotted at just about the 20-yard line. It'll be 3rd and a long 6. No score. We're in the second period. A little under 8 minutes remaining to be played in this second quarter. 4A championship game between Joliet Catholic in white with the football against the Danville Vikings in maroon. Back man there is Phil Sharp, and the power eye, but Pezzolano is going to put it in the air behind that line of scrimmage, and it goes to Beltsuber, to the 20, the 15, the 10, brought down at about the 8-yard line, and they pick up the 1st and 10. Jim Delzell finally brought down Beltsuber. Take another look at it.
I think you'll see a great individual move on the part of Beltsuber because
absolutely
the quarterback's in distress. Beltsuber doesn't have that much. Right there is the big move he made to elude that tackler. And then it was
that is power.
Yeah. Great individual effort. Of course, he had the angle. The tackler didn't know what he was trying to do.
Here it is from another angle. Back to live action now as Joliet tries to get on the board and they give to Rick Thayer, the fullback, who gets it across the 5.
Well, Vince, we just got word that young Mr. Walker, who went off with what looked like an arm and shoulder injury, it was a shoulder injury. It is not that serious, but so serious that they don't expect him to play anymore in this game.
Sorry to hear that.
That's right.
Jim Nani, 31, has come in now, replacing Bruce Borg at an end position for Joliet. 2nd and 5, just inside the 5. There's Thayer, the fullback, hit almost immediately. Somehow manages to drag a tackler for a yard or so. Rob Faggett came up as a linebacker and hit him. And then he was joined by the free safety, Larry Lucas, number 10. Number 46 there is Rob Taggett, a senior, 195, a linebacker.
But when you weigh 215 like Thayer does, you can still pick up a yard or two past the tackle.
Very tough. Third down and about 3. Just inside the 3-yard line, as you can see.
Pretty stubborn Danville defense, Vince.
Very good. Hilltopper shifting. Rolling out to the right side. Is he going to fire? He does. Into the end zone. It is a touchdown. And his target, who had come back in, was Bruce Berg, who had just made a beautiful catch a little while ago in the fingertips. This time he was deep in that end zone. Berg, a 5'11", 170-pound senior, has put Joliet Catholic on the board. Dan Pescimetto's pass to him, perfect. Here it is.
Well, he catches it over defender Delzell, who actually was on him pretty closely. They crossed their tight ends on that. They crossed straighter, coming from the corner toward the center of the field. And a touchdown pass and toward the corner.
Good option on it. I think they were afraid that Pescimetto was really going to keep it and run. And he had Beltsuber out to block for him. They're going to try for the 2-point conversion. Beltsuber there, and he is in for the 2 points. Eric Beltsuber makes it 8-0, Joliet. The touchdown pass, here it is. Here, look what happened to him. How? Down he goes. That was Faggett who hit him. All right, in the second quarter, the score, Joliet 8, Danville nothing. Our coverage of the state high school football championships will continue after this.
And Berg caught the touchdown pass, and Tim Mackey was number 86, the other receiver, and he really almost had an option on either point.
All right.
Incidentally, Vince, the touchdown drive went 42 yards and was keyed by 2 17-yard passes. Well, actually, the first one was 18, the second was 17 yards. The first one to Borg, and of course, Borg caught the pass at the end in the end zone for the touchdown, a 3-yard pass. 42 yards overall.
That's John Meade, number 74, coming up, and number 30 is Rick Thayer, and it's Thayer who puts the boot to it. Bowen scrambling over at the 18-yard line, and his knee had touched the ground. That was Brett Travis, a fullback. And anytime you do that, touch the ground, of course, with any part of the body other than your feet, that's where it is down, and it's 1st and 10. For Danville at their own 19-yard line. Big John LeCount, the center, brings them up to the line of scrimmage. 5 minutes and 30-some seconds left to play in the first half. Joliet shifting a bit defensively. And a play back to the left side. That is Brett Travis, the fullback. This is John Piazza, number 87.
That's right. That's the sophomore.
Yeah.
Boy, it looks like he's out of the play, and he still reaches across the top to make that tackle. He's tall.
15 years old. He's 6'1", 185. Gain of 5. So it's 2nd down and 5. The ball at the 24-yard line of Danville. Vikings wearing the maroon jerseys. Quick drive into that line by the up man.
Piazza was right there.
Jones, number 25. Got nowhere.
This Joliet defense is really solid. They've not been able to go outside and get around them. The pursuit has been excellent. They're getting nothing up the middle. And this is probably just the second series by Danville in the game. Joliet's controlled the ball the whole game.
3rd down and 4. 64, Jim Boucher, and 87, John Piazza, in on that last stop. Give this time to 32, Travis, and they're ready for him right at the line of scrimmage. He may have gotten a foot or so, and that's about it. Nowhere to go against that very rugged Joliet Catholic defense, led again by Boucher and Piazza. Take a look at him. Nowhere to go.
Piazza seems to be in on every play.
Yep.
Well, of course, a middle linebacker, a good middle linebacker, will be in almost every play.
Just a sophomore and only 15 years old. Sean Sturr, number 42, standing back on the Joliet Catholic 38-yard line, trying to keep warm, 36. And he has another up man there, Mark Schmidt. The punter, Mark Dixon. For Danville, good snap. The left-footed kicker gets a beauty away. Fumbled by Sturr, and he is hit. Gets up, but his knee touched at about the 23 or 24-yard line. Great kick. Going to be 1st and 10 for Joliet when play is resumed here in the second quarter with the score. Joliet 8, Danville nothing. And our coverage of the State High School Football Championships will continue after this. Well, Danville's going to need a break here in the final 3.5 minutes of this first half if they're going to get back or get on the scoreboard. Joliet Catholic with a touchdown, and they've shown some pretty good passing and good running, particularly on the part of Beltsuver, number 45, Rick Thayer, number 30. Pessimento has been a good leader out there, and this is the fullback Rick Thayer just driving across the 30 to about the 35-yard line, and that's good for 1st and 10. Take a look at him. Senior, 215 pounds. Here he comes. Started to the right, then run it back, and look at the convoy in front of him. Tough runner.
Well, Vince, now we have word on David Walker that he does have a dislocated shoulder, so he definitely will not return for Danville.
That's too bad. 1st and 10. Beltsuver shook loose at the line of scrimmage. He might have been better off had he not, because he is now driven back, and he lost a little bit. It's going to be 2nd down and perhaps about 11. Eric Glapian, 87 in defensively. He's a quarterback along with number 10, Larry Lucas.
Great pursuit along the line by Danville. Glapian came up. You can see him in the picture coming up across.
Does a great job.
Followed by Lucas.
2nd down and 11 from the 34-yard line. Clock, of course, is running. 2:22 left to play in the first half. Joliet with the lead and the football. They're out in front 8-0. That's Beltsuver, number 45, who just moved. And he's got the ball going to the right side. Hit hard, driven back. Bill March, 71, the first man defensively, a 200-pound junior. That Danville defense has now gotten tough. But while it's 3rd and 13, Danville has to call time to stop the clock with 1 minute and 57 seconds remaining to play here in the first half. Pessimento has gone over there to talk to his coach, Gordy Gillespie.
If they do hold them here, they could conceivably have the best field position they've had today.
Yeah.
They've been around the 20 every time they've gotten the ball.
Well, you know they're going to punt away from here.
And it could be a little bit tough, although it is a crosswind blowing from left to right insofar as Joliet Catholic is concerned.
Well, there's Paul Chevy out on the field.
Super guy.
No, that's not Paul. That's one of his assistants. Pardon me.
Yep. Talking with Gordy Gillespie last week. There you see the scoreboard here at Hancock Stadium. He said, be sure and give Paul Chevy my very best, he said, and I sure do wish him good luck. I said, you're not telling me that you want me to tell him you think you want him to win. He said, no.
Well, you know, Vince, these two men have been competing against each other for something like 20 years in basketball, because Chevy, before going to Danville High School, was a very successful coach of all sports at Danville Schlarman, the Catholic school in Danville. He was there 19 seasons.
They like one another. 3rd and 13 as play is resumed. That's Beltsuver shifting into the power eye. Takes the give, rolling out left on. A keeper here by the quarterback, Pessimento. He hits for the sidelines. He's out at the 35-yard line. Dan Pessimento. He's a senior, 6-footer, 170.
Well, again, Danville's defense shows quickness because they are able to stay outside, force the play outside, force it all the way to the out of bounds.
The one blocker he had was number 60, Tony Tracy. Now Beltsuver, who is the punter, comes in. By the way, Gillespie said, look out, he says, once in a while we may come up with a quick kick. Of course, this time it's 4th down and 11. End over end boot, and it is taken at the 31-yard line. That's William Jones, number 25, a senior, 5'8", 175. There he is.
Great punt coverage by Joliet Catholic. They really get downfield quickly.
He was brought down by Rick Thayer.
He saw a picket fence of white jerseys.
Right.
Look at there. Oh, goodness. Where do you go from here?
Yeah. Help. Clock is running. Less than 1 minute, 40 seconds remaining to play. 1st and 10 for Danville at their own 32-yard line. They are trailing by 8 points here in the first half. Pass to Jones. He squirms away. And look at the little guy go across the 40 to the 43-yard line.
A little razzle-dazzle.
John LeCout seemed to be a little upset about something there. He had pulled over to do some blocking for William Jones.
Well, they're going to have to open up, Vince.
Yeah.
They were not able to move that football against
That
the
is
Joliet
their
Catholic
first pass of the day, I believe.
Yeah, they'll have to open the ball game up, and I think they have the weapons to do it. This is a shotgun.
Wide receiver to the left side as they go into the shotgun for the first time. Coming right back to Jones, but the ball slipped right out of his hands that time. Rossdale. Hands are a little cold, naturally. So it goes incomplete. Well, it said they might go to that shotgun.
Rossdale
Yeah,
has completed over 58% of his passes this year, so it's a bit of an amazement that they waited this long to throw it, but it could be because this is the first time they've been on the other side of the 30.
He's not a very big kid, Rossdale. He's just 5'9", weighs about 160. Two wide receivers left side. He's looking for one of them. Gets it in the air, and a diving attempt made by number 80, Ned Luke, the split end, but he couldn't quite get to it. Coverage there by number 22 for Joliet Catholic, John Funk.
I think the pass is just a little off target. That man is open.
Yeah, he had his defender beat. Luke is 5'9", 170. So it is 3rd and 10, and the clock is stopped now with 1 minute and 2 seconds remaining to play in this first half. Danville with the football, and they trail 8-0. Shotgun again. They spread out all over the field.
What in the world?
He had no one that he could find open to throw to. I thought for a moment he might be looking for Robert McNeil, who was over on the left side. He thought he was covered, so he came back with the incomplete pass in the vicinity of number 25, Jones, and pressure put on by Jim Boucher, number 64.
I think the problem here is, Vince, he's waiting on Jones to move, and Jones doesn't move. I don't know where he had to go, actually, unless he moved on down that sideline.
4th and 10, they're going to have to punt. That's Dixon back there, Mark Dixon. Schmidt and Sturr back
punt.
deep. And this is Sturr. Nope, it is Dixon who takes, or Schmidt rather, who takes it. Look at him gallop. Breaks one loose at the 20. Upfield he comes, and he is going to be spun out of bounds at about the 40-yard line.
I think I see a penalty flag over there in the snow.
Yes, you do.
I don't think it was the first block.
About the 26-yard line.
But I think there may be a clipping penalty on the far side of the field in the snow.
Mark Schmidt.
Or either that or the guy was blowing his nose and dumped it over there.
No, here's Mark Schmidt, 5'11", and senior, about 170.
Now, Vince, this first block here, that looks legal. I don't think there was a clip there.
One who just missed a tackle.
That might have been the clip. That was your clip.
Okay. So that takes it far deeper into Joliet Catholic territory now. Back down to the 13-yard line is where they're going to spot the football. There it is.
Take another
again.
look at this now and see if we can pick up the clip. They just come into the picture as it gets hit.
Whoops, right there.
The official was right on the job.
They usually are. 41 seconds left to play in the half. They'll just try to hold out of the football to run out the half, and that's the fullback, Rick Thayer, carrying. Hit by Anthony Marbury and Bill Cotton, numbers 79 and 74, respectively, for Danville. Danville uses a timeout here to stop the clock with 28 seconds remaining to play in the half. In the fourth quarter in Chicago, CBS 6 and Lane Tech nothing. That's in the fourth quarter. Chicago Vocational over Lane Tech by 6 in the fourth quarter.
It's got to be a little cold there today, too.
Yeah, but hot in the field.
We're still at 17 degrees here. It's been going down all day, however. Maybe it's stabilized. I think it was 22 this morning. Darrell was telling us, one of our cameramen, when they first got here at 10 o'clock, and now we're down to 17.
They were here at 10 o'clock this morning?
Really feels good, doesn't it? It's invigorating.
It's nice to know those people are out here at 10 o'clock in the morning getting everything prepared, too, isn't it?
I came out here to check on them.
Yeah, so wonder they didn't run into you coming in last night.
I would have stayed with you, they would have. Here's a give to Thayer, and he's got a blocker in front of him. Drags it across the 25. Rick Thayer out to about the 37-yard line, and the man in front of him was Bruce Berg, the tight end.
Rick Thayer had quite a season for Joliet Catholic.
Good block there by Berg.
Rushed for more than 1,300 yards.
Clock is running. That we may have time for one more play if they get it off in a hurry. 1st and 10 at the 26. They're going to get one more. And this will be it for the half. That's Beltsover with the ball. And that should be the end of the first half of play as he is stopped there by number 23, Chris Kenny. And there you see it, Joliet Catholic in this battle for the 4A championship in the state of Illinois, high school play. Joliet Catholic leading Danville 8-0. The end of the half. And we expected Danville, Rick, will very likely have to open up considerably in the second half because at this stage it's all hanging on the last 24 minutes. And
well, Vince, they will. And as Paul Chevy told us before, they were just so concerned about the conditions on this field today. And I talked to him briefly before they came out on the field, and he said, you know, we feel a little at a disadvantage, Floyd, because we handle the ball a lot, and we'd like to handle the ball a lot. We're at our best, and we're able to pitch and throw passes across the field, and we're just going to have to be a little conservative. Well, now we look at the score, and they're down 8-0. They have not moved the ball, and they're not going to win this way, so they're going to have to take chances. Now, they may lose the ball when they take those chances, but they will have to take the chances.
But, you know, I think it almost was indicative of the attitude they seemed to approach. They were going so slowly, as a matter of fact, when they came out being overly careful until they really didn't get untracked until just before the end of the second quarter there when they did get a little offense going, but then the passing, they had to pass. There was no diversification, and consequently with Joliet Catholic expecting a pass, they covered that shotgun man for man, and there was just absolutely no one available.
Well, Paul Chevy's a sound coach, Floyd. As I said, he spent 19 years as basketball coach, athletic director, and football coach at Danville Schlarman High School. He had teams in the state basketball championships. We've heard his name around the state for years. He's a respected name in high school sports in Illinois, as is Gordon Gillespie. And I think both of these coaches are just feeling their way a little bit, and I think we're going to see quite a bit of an excitement in the second half.
It certainly is going to be that. They said it was going to be power football against finesse, but Joliet's shown the finesse and the power up until this point.
Well, he's done a remarkable job. He lost 19 of the 22 starters from last year on the state championship team. They've come back today, and they're playing excellent football.
Gordon Gillespie is certainly an outstanding coach, and his reputation precedes him, doesn't it?
Okay. Well, I'll have a wrap-up on the first half for you as soon as I've had a chance to check on those statistics. Meanwhile, let's switch to Vince Lloyd at Tournament Central. Well, there goes your fire.
They put it out in a hurry. Number 66.
Well, you could see on
Doug
the
McKay.
replay. You can see on the replay, Vince, as soon as the ball hit his hands, it popped out. It's just not a successful center snap.
Doug McKay, 5'9", 175-pound junior, recovered it. So an exchange of fumbles after they went the whole first half with none. Gives Joliet the ball. They gained 2 yards on the exchange of fumbles. 1st and 10, just across their own 40. Beltsover on the carry. And out in front of him is Dennis Hennessy. Throwing a good block.
They have definitely found a weakness on that side of the line, the left side of the Danville line. There's nothing complicated about this play.
Watch this Hennessy, number 61. If we get to see this run again. The left guard who pulls out and leads that play. Does a super job.
You know, I just figured something out about Gordon Gillespie. He's not giving signals. He's trying to keep his hands warm.
Nothing wrong with that. He's using his head. Why interfere with the way that offense is going? They have picked up more than enough for a 1st and 10. They're at Danville's 47-yard line. First down and 10 to go for Joliet, which is leading 8-0. We're in the third quarter. Both ends are in tight. Beltsover into the power eye again, and the give goes to Thayer, the fullback. Hit at about the line of scrimmage, twisted and turned, and got across that yard line, the 45 to about the 44, where 46 Rob Faggett got him. Now take a look at Mark Killig here, the left tackle, number 75, doing some blocking. There he is. Killig is 6'1", 200, and he looks like he's about 230, doesn't he?
That's right. Vince, we have a final now on that Chicago Public League Championship game. Chicago Vocational 12, Lane Tech nothing. That's a final. 12-0 Vocational.
Beltsover on this carry. There goes that Hennessy on that same play, leading the blocking. It is Kinney and Faggett who make the stop. But another big gain. It is going to be 2nd down and almost a 1st and 10. See if they're going to measure on it. Very near 1st down yardage. They're going to bring the chain out.